I think I'm live. It doesn't really give me much of an indication as to whether I'm actually live or not. So until somebody says something or lets me know that they can hear me or see me or something like that. Until, well, maybe I can look over here at this other screen and see if it's showing me. There we go, Techy Tuesday live. Until, well, maybe I can look over here at this other screen and see if it's showing me. There we go. Oops. Let's not go with the delayed echo. So what does it say? One watching now, so that must just be me. So we'll give that a thumbs up. And we'll hang out and we'll wait and see if... Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if it's only me that can add a public comment while I'm doing this. La, 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 la. Oh, two. There's another person here. My hair is awful. Sorry. I need a color in it, like green. I guess green is the only color I have. I tried purple. It's got a little tiny tinge of purple, but that's not enough. I want color. I want color. So who's here? Say hello. I will give it just about 5 minutes, I guess, for people to show up. And then, oh, hi, Gay. How you doing? Yay. So, and then we'll go and we'll hit up on Photopea. And yeah, it should be fun. So hi, Gail. Oh, that's kind of distracting over here. So the StreamYard is over here, and my computer screen and Photopea are over here. My camera is there. It pops up here. Oh, yes. Well, that does make gardening kind of a bit of a pain. I know we deal with a lot of that here, too. Although we did have a pretty dry year, and it's dry again today, so... But yay, I'm glad you're in front of the computer, so that works for me. So has anybody gone and taken a look at the Photopea online, or does anybody have any kind of experience with any photo imaging tools? Not yet, Gay, no more snow. But we are expecting flurries next week. So we'll see. Sometimes those can grow here and go from flurries to dumps quite quickly. So we'll have to wait and see about that. So which programs have you had experience with, Gail? Oh, yeah, I can do this, can't I? Oh, I think I have to do it over here, though. Yes. So, Gail, you have a movie editor? Which one? Or do you know? I'm sure you know. Oh, 6 watching now. Woohoo! Tried Photoshop and nearly had a nervous breakdown. It can be a little overwhelming when you first look at it because there's just so much there. But once you start to understand what all of that stuff is, it does become much easier, I promise. So it is. Hi, Pete. How you doing? It is, Gay, very much like Photoshop from what I've seen. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take me out and put up the Photopea screen. And we're going to go over here, and I'm going to concentrate over here a little bit more and just kind of explain to you what you're seeing. Has everybody gone to photopea.com in another window? Or if you don't like to, I like to work along with somebody who's showing me stuff so that I can see what they're looking at. And today we're just going to go into some very, very basic stuff about how to maneuver, what the different things are kind of and what they do, and then we'll use a couple of the very basic tools that you would always use when you're making any type of a graphic. There's going to be tools that you use pretty much all the time, and then the others, we'll get into them as we go, kind of, and we will go through and learn all of the different functionality of all of those different tools on the left-hand side in the toolbar. So when I say the toolbar, I mean this. And as you can see, our selection tool is what this is called, and it is selected right now. Well, they're calling it the move tool. So one thing that I like to do is I always like to turn on my auto select and my transform controls. I just like to use those. So if you just click in there. I like Movie Maker. I don't have it anymore. I had it on an older computer, but I don't have it on any of my newer ones. And I don't have the older one anymore. So the first thing that we're going to do while we're here is we're going to go ahead and I have to warn you guys, I have not used or played with this program at all. I've just come in and looked at it and looked at what the tools are and looked at what's over here, and I haven't even used the drop down menus yet, which is usually one of the first things I do when I go into a new program is just to see what's there. So we will maybe do some of that, and I'm going to explain the basic workflow and how to add text to it. So the first thing that we're going to do is click on this little button that says New Project. Oh, and this is nice. Look at this. It's got some templates here that are already sized. So let's go with a YouTube profile, and we'll name it. You can name it up here where it says New Project, and we'll just name it. I'm just going to name it Test 1. And let's see, we have a width and a height of 800 pixels each. Our DPI, which is your dots per inch, is 72, which is standard for web. Our background is white. Our options are transparent or a background picture. So you can decide what you want. For today, we're just going to stick with white. I do generally start with a transparent background for a lot of things. But for today, we're going to stick with white. And then let's do, we picked YouTube profile. And is there any way I can just get a blank? Oh, okay. I don't want any symbols, and I don't want any photos. I don't want any of that stuff on there. Is there not just a blank template? Well, maybe if I just hit create. Ah, there we go. Okay, so like I said, I haven't really played with it, so I'm just learning how to work it too. So I want it to zoom out a little bit. So I'm assuming this is my, oh no, that's a find. So this is my zoom tool here. It's down towards the bottom by the two color blocks. That's your zoom tool. I'm going to put it over here, and you can see that there's a plus sign in the middle. I'm going to hold down my Alt key and subtract. It's when I hold down my Alt key, it switches to subtract, and then I click, and it zooms out a little bit. So now I can see the whole thing, and I prefer to see the whole thing. So, any questions? Good morning, Ariel. Oh, you're lucky, Gay. I wish I had that. Any questions? Should I go slower? Should I go faster? Oh, wait a minute till my voice catches up with. I know you can't see me. You can only see my screen, right? Oh, and here, I guess I can hide Gail's comment so you can see the whole screen. Sorry. Oh, new comments. How do you add text? That's where I was going to go next. Okay, so when you look down this long list of tools over here on the left-hand side, if you hover over them, it will tell you what they all are. And if you see it and it has a little tiny arrow in the corner, if you click on that corner, it'll drop down and give you options for that tool. So here you can go from a rectangle to an ellipse or a circle or whatever you want to call it. Just click off of it and it goes away. And then again here we've got this, and we'll definitely go through and cover some of these too. These are your lassos and your magnetic. These are really great. These are super helpful for pulling out the backgrounds. In fact, you need to use them if you're pulling out the backgrounds for your pictures. If you want to like pull out somebody to that, so that you just have a silhouette of a person, and you want to pull them out from the background, you need those tools there. So that's super handy. What else do we have? Object selection. Your magic wand is super see? Super helpful. And then let's see, but we won't go through all of them anyway right now. We will go through them. We're going to go down here to the T, which stands for text. And we're going to click on it. And then down here, you can see the two colors. I have red and black. Red is on top, black is underneath. If I want to switch those colors, you just click on one of those boxes. And I can pick a nice blue. You can also, if you know the hexadecimal code for it, which I just happen to do for the main color that I use on my website, you can switch it to that. And then there's a little dual-sided arrow beside these colors, and you can switch them back and forth. So now my purple is going to be on top. The one on top is the color that's going to go on top, and the one underneath is going to be a background color. So I'm going to actually switch my background color to white. And have it there. So anyway, I've got my text tool here. So I've usually got a couple of different places where I can look at where oh, here they are. Okay. So up here I have fonts. And it's nice because it actually gives you a preview of what they look like. And so you can click one. Maybe you already know the font that you use, or maybe you just want to use something different. But up here you've got your different controls. So if it had an italic version or a bold version or any of that, you would be able to see that here. Here's where you can change your size. It's nice. It's just a slider, and you can also highlight that and click in whatever number you want to click in. I probably don't want to go quite that big, but I will go that big. Maybe we'll see. Oh, and look at that. That actually, that's interesting because that usually the colors that are down here, it sets your default color for whatever it is that you're doing or adding, whether it's a piece of text or a square or anything like that. But this here has another color selection right here that you can use. So again, I'm going to set the color where I want it. Say okay. And then here I can center or whatever. Those are just different filters that you can use, and I don't want to warp it yet, although we will go into that. So then we're going to just type something. I clicked on there, of course, and then I just typed hello. And now if I come back here and then see how this little cross and arrow or check mark showed up here as soon as I started typing. So I need to now confirm that that's what I want to do. And if it's anything like Photoshop, until I hit that confirm button, it kind of locks everything up. I may try that the next time it pops up there just to see if it does. I've had things over that and had it pop up and wondered why my program suddenly has stopped working. It's super annoying. Let me, oh, no more questions. Okay, and that's it. That's all. That to adding text, that's all you have to do. Now let's look at, I want to look at some of the options are, just to see. Oh, so open in place is super helpful. So what open in place does is you can go and hunt down a picture that you have saved somewhere, and you can very quickly add it in here. So I'm going to open more, I think. It's obviously not giving me the options that I want, right? Open in place. Let's see what we get. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it's letting me pick whatever I want. So you can go anywhere on your computer. Let's go to here. And I'm just going to add a random picture. Oh, can't do that. Where do I have a picture? Images. How about this one? Okay, so now I've got my selection tool, or they're calling it, like I said, they're calling it the move tool. And now I can click on these things, and that's because I have this auto select selected. So if these are not selected, let's just show you the difference there. So now, oh, it is still auto select. Oh, it's because that layer is selected. But let's say I go and try and click on the hello. So I can't click on the hello and move it. Whereas if I have that auto select on, whatever I click on is automatically selected. And then I like the transform controls. For one thing, it lets me transform things if I want to. It also will let me rotate things if I want to. And you can see here again, this X and this check mark have showed up. So I'm going to see if it actually, now it doesn't. Now in Photoshop it does. It asks, you have to confirm that that's what you wanted to do before it will do it after you've done something like moved it. So this doesn't, so that's kind of nice. So the red dot, do you see the red line that's showing up there? That's just kind of a smart guide, and it tells me that this center point of this picture now is on the center line of the entire image. So those will pop up from time to time, and that's what they are, is telling you that it's properly lined up. You can also probably, if you're into it, you can come down here and show a grid. And let's see, can you adjust your grid? I don't know. Now that's probably your snap. I don't like to see a grid, but you can certainly use one if you want to. I prefer not to. And I'm not, let me see if we can show the rulers. So as you can see across the top and the bottom now, I have rulers, and I should be able to pull lines to places if I want to start lining up. And now these blue guidelines, they come and go. you can show or hide them. You see here where it says guides? You can show or hide them, whether I want to look at them or not. And these are under the view. What time is it? Oh gosh, we've only been going for 20 minutes. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, hi, Spitfire Red, Jules, Wendy, Jules. Hello. Is anybody like completely overwhelmed and lost, or are you following along okay, or have you tried using, what is it, Photopea? Gail called it Photopea. I don't know. I called it Photopea, so I don't know. Could be either one. I've never heard it said. Anyway, we're just playing with stuff here. So do you want me to keep going? Spitfire Red is completely lost. Yeah. It's tough when you come in late. But those are two basic things that you'll do. You know, you'll want to add text. You want to know. So let's take a look over here then. I'm going to keep going unless somebody wants me to stop. Let's see. Yeah, I'm liking it so far, Jules. This is the first time I've really ever done anything with it. So where do you get a personal picture? You mean, okay, so where do you save? I would assume it's under File, and here are your different options. You can save as a PSD, and I'm going to assume this is taking me to my computer browse feature where I can save it anywhere I want. So let's go ahead and save it. So I'm going to go to my Google Drive, into my business folder, into here. And this is where I have my YouTube channel and my YouTube channel square videos already that I did in Photoshop. And they're showing up because it matches that. Although I wonder if it gives me options on the type. No, I can only save it as an Adobe Photoshop image 12. My version of Photoshop is not 12. It is like 5. So I probably won't be able to open this with my Photoshop, but I should be able to open it with this Photopea. Anyway, I'm just going to leave it called Test 1. But here, of course, is where you would change that. As soon as it's highlighted blue, you can change it to whatever you want and save. So I've now saved that to my hard drive. So that's nice. And there were no restrictions on that, even though this is free. I haven't even tried to set up an account yet, but I haven't run into a restriction yet where it wanted me to set up an account. And as you know, this is the first time I've used it. So somebody ringing the doorbell. And then what was the other question? Yeah, oh, there. Where do you get a personal picture? Do one now, like go get a personal picture. Okay, so I'm going to select this, and while it's selected, I should be able to hit the delete key on my keyboard and get rid of it. And then I also, for some reason, I have this extra text layer here, and I can do that as well. I can select it and hit delete, and it's now gone. So now that just cleans up my layers a little bit. So I'm not getting a bunch of layers in here that I'm not actually using. And I can also hide and show layers just while we're there. Anyway, so to go and get a personal picture, to open, you mean to open one or to add one into here. Gail? This is a web-based program. I am using it on my PC. I have never tried to get it as a phone app or as a tablet app or any other way other than on my computer. So I don't know if it's different at all. Did you get something good? I hope so. It's funny that because our doorbell rang the same time yours must have, Gail. And hi, Freehandly Maid. Nice to see you.
Coffee's here.
Oh, okay. Dave's been waiting for coffee. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that you mean opening a file from your computer. Thanks, honey. Oh, that's probably my seeds. Oh, my gardening friends, my seeds came. Anyway, let's, okay, so I should be able to click on File up here and go to Open. And let's go down here to this drive. And we'll go to Pictures. And we'll find a bunch of pictures of me. Where's the most recent one? I guess I need a new one now since it's 2021. And there, that has now brought that picture into there. So now if I wanted to add some text onto it, I would just click on my text. And I would click here to add a text layer. And I would type my text. And then I would grab my move tool, and then I would click on my text. And so if you have your transform controls, you can see how it has all these little squares at the corners, along the side, and in the middle. So if you grab that square in the middle, it's going to move the square in the middle. And this is your center point of your image. So you don't generally want to move that. Yeah, you want to somewhere go in here. See if you try to click on one of the lines or one of the boxes at the corners, it gives you other options. It gives you the option for rotating. It gives you the option for making it larger or smaller. So you have to click somewhere other than one of those corner points to be able to actually move it. So I put this. Oh, there we go. And let's see, so I want it to stand out a little bit more. I want to add an outline to it. So down here should be, what do I have? I have, this should be my effects. Yep, there we go. And I want to add a stroke. You can see it's already showing it in here. Oh, you can't see that because I have Gail's thing over it. You guys haven't been able to see that since I moved it there, have you? Sorry. Anyway, you can see it added the stroke automatically, and really the big thing, I'm going to change the color. Obviously, I don't want a bright red stroke on that. I'll use a color that I actually usually use. But you can, of course, use whatever colors. Here's the size. I can change that. Here's the position of it. I can change that to the inside, or I can center it. Put it on the outside. Blending modes, these can be fun. Let's see here, I've given it kind of a funky effect. You can also do like a gradient. And then, of course, all your settings for your gradient come up. And yeah, so there's all of those things. I don't like that at all. So I'm going to go back into my effects. And is there a reset? Oh, I can just turn it off and it'll go away. But I do want a stroke, right? So I'm just going to go back to linear. Ooh, nope, I'm going to turn this back to color. And I'm going to switch my blend back to normal. And it's a little bigger than I would normally use, but there, now it stands out a little better, right? And again, I can now, here's something. Now, I haven't tried this either, so let's find out if it works or not. My text layer, these are my layers, obviously, right? And I can drag these layers, can I? I should be able to drag one layer. Maybe it won't let me drag the background. Oh, it will. So I can click and drag these layers and move them around if I want to or if I need to. So if you end up with something on top of something that it shouldn't be on top of. It doesn't seem to. Oh, that's because I have that. I need that selection. All right, let's hi Pete. Just to see me add one. Okay, so now I'm going to add a picture now. So I've got this and I've got my name. I guess I should have done I want to edit that text. So, and I got to edit. I'm going to do Lorrie's World. And that's like way too big. So I'm going to change that. I don't like the font. So I'm going to change that. What else can I change? Oh, I want to change this stroke. Actually, that looks kind of cool now. So I think I'll leave it. And I'll put that up there. And now I'm going to add a picture. Oh, I got to get this to get rid of it. Grab my move tool. Click so that nothing is selected. So I've clicked in this black area and now none of my layers are selected because I don't want the picture that I'm going to grab and put in here to replace one of my layers. I want to add it as another layer. So now I'm going to come up here to File and I'm going to click on Open and Place and I'm just going to click on that. And it takes me to where I have pictures. And so I'm now going to go and find a picture that I want to use, and I'm going to throw this one in here. Oh, and look at this. Because I didn't have anything selected, it put it underneath everything here in my layers. So I'm going to move it on top of it. Oh, it might not. Yeah, well, why isn't it letting me move it? Come on. Oh, interesting. Well, that's kind of weird. It's showing the square, but it's not actually showing the picture. Okay. No, that's just letting me. Okay, I'm stumped, so I'm going to try that again. And I'm actually going to leave this Lorrie's World selected while I do this, and I'm going to try that again. Open in place, and let's just grab a PNG. Maybe it doesn't recognize the PNG. Do I have a JPEG? Yeah, I do. Oh, see, now that popped right on there. But obviously I don't want that big white background there, right? So that's why I was trying to pull in the PNG. let's see. So over here, I should have an eraser tool. Here it is. And I have a background eraser underneath that I'm going to select. I'm going to come and click on this white here and see if it, oh, it wants to rasterize it. I'm going to say okay. Oh yes, I have history, so. Oh, well, it's not doing all of it, is it? Okay, so here is your history. And it's just on this tab. And you can, there's different tabs here that you can, that are different things, right? But your history, I can take this and I can go back to before I rasterized it. And now I'm going to try again with placing the PNG. Because that's what I actually want. So I'm going to hide this JPEG for now. All I did was toggle. There's an eye switch here. It looks kind of like an eye. You just toggle that on and off to hide or show something. But I'm going to try again with that file and open in place. And I'm going to try and bring in a PNG because I want to see if it will work. And it just doesn't seem to like it, does it? I wonder if I hide everything. Oh, look at it. If I hide everything else, there it is. So, why? Oh, well, there you go. Okay, so it does. And I can get rid of this JPEG. And now I have this. And now I don't need this either, do I? So, doop, text gone. Oh, you see that? See how I grabbed onto that middle box? And see, grab onto a corner, make it a little smaller, maybe imprint it right onto my forehead. Hi, Boone. Hi, Christy. Hi, Tin Can. You know how to do a photo cutout of myself like you have on your thumbnails. You picked a picture and it won't let you add text, Gail? Did you? Just delete. Okay, let me go back here and try to answer all the questions. Sorry, guys. I kind of get lost in just doing this stuff. Avun, Pete, Ariel, Wendy, Jules. Hello, hello, hello. I picked a picture and now it won't let me add text. Won't let me add text. So have you tried clicking in the empty space, the black space, to deselect your layers? Oh. And then tried clicking on your text tool to come in and add text? And I'm not entirely sure what you mean by just delete your picture to get a new one. Do you mean in this program? In this program, I should be able to, oh, see, now I keep clicking with the wrong tool and I'm adding text layers. I didn't want to do that, so I'm going to hit this cancel button and there the layer goes away. I'm going to come up here and grab my move tool. Let's get that off of my face. Move that down there. And I could just delete my picture. There's several ways I can do it. I can, oh, that just picks up the layer. Here, I can right click on it over here and just hit delete. There's also a little garbage can looking thingy down here that will delete the entire layer. And if I want to undo that, I can come up here to my history and I can go back to before I deleted the layer and it's back in there. Freehandly made, that's going to be a lesson all on its own, because that's going to take some time. It's going to take its own hour, definitely. But we will be covering that for sure. We can do that next if you want, and learn how to use those selection tools. It's a good place to start, as good a place as any. Howdy from Texas. Boom. Da, 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 da. Will it always show the black bars? You mean the black bars on the two sides? On the right? This is called just your work area, and you can definitely zoom in depending on what size picture that you want to use. You can zoom in or zoom out. I zoomed out a little bit because I like to have this, because I like to be able to deselect stuff. And so when I unclick something, I can click on something and select it because I have this auto select selected, and I can move it around and do whatever. And then if I want to not have anything selected because I want to add a new layer or something, I can just click over here and it deselects everything. And then I can add in, let's go ahead and add some more text. And everything is deselected. I just click and it lets me write, "Hello, Melissa," or whatever it is that I want to write. And let's see. Hello, Melissa. Will it always show the black bars? Yes. How did you put the comment on the screen? What wizardry is that? This is StreamYard. This is the free version of StreamYard, which is a tool that you use with YouTube that allows you to do all kinds of neat things. Like I can invite people up here to join me on screen. I can share my screen. I can share my face. I can do both. Yeah, it has all kinds of options. I don't have anybody else on with me, so it won't show that. But yeah, so there's the screen. Oh, where did... Oh, that took me down to the bottom again. Sorry. If you don't like the photo you selected, how do you get rid of it to pick another one? Do you mean in the file folder, Wendy? Like when I went to open and place, do you mean when I went in there to open and place? How do I select a different one? I'll look down and see when you clarify that. Move tool with all the arrows on it. Yeah, that's one thing that you do have to get used to, Gail, when you're using these, is that you'll sometimes think that you have one tool selected and you're trying to make it do something because you want it to add text, but it's not the text tool. Yeah, I don't know how many times I've done stuff like that, like hundreds of times I've done stuff like that, thousands of times I've done stuff like that. Oh, okay, answered her question. Good. Yes, let's do that next. Yeah, we will. So everybody have a picture ready that you want to try to cut out from the background. Now, of course, it's going to be easier if you have like a very distinct picture and background. So if you have access to a green screen, or you have a picture that's going to be easy to cut out, then have that ready so we can do, and we'll do that next week. Let's see. Yeah, it's a great program. The StreamYard is fantastic. It's really helpful for doing the live streams. Of course, I'm just using the free version. They do have a paid version where you can have your own logo showing and all that kind of stuff. And you can also, it gives you more time. You're limited to, I'm not sure how much it is. It might be like 20 hours or something a month. All right, Melissa, thanks so much for stopping in. I will see you again soon. Yeah, you can do a 5-hour chat once a week, so it's 20 hours a month that you can use for free. So yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, StreamYard is, I've only tried a few of them because I've really just started doing the lives, but I am really liking the StreamYard too. Feeding Lori's cat. She's feeding her own cats too. Oh, do you mean this Photopea or the StreamYard Celtic Roots? And hi, by the way. Because the Photopea is just an online program. Phew. Hot in here. You know, the window. StreamYard for Mac. Oh, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't know either way because I don't have a Mac, but StreamYard is also just computer-based, though. So I just type in StreamYard.com to bring it up. So it should be available in any browser. It could be that you're maybe if you're using Safari, that could be the problem. But if you have Chrome, try using the Chrome browser and see if it works there. Because it certainly might, for sure. So we've gone almost an hour now. Who remembers anything? Just kidding. Hi, Gardening in the North. I didn't see you come in either. Yeah, it looks like a fun program. I'm liking it thus far. It's very similar to Photoshop. So I haven't run into any limitations. And maybe, like I said, my Photoshop is old, right? I have an old one that I paid for. I don't pay for the new versions online or any of that. But this is great. This Photopea is nice. So. Yes, absolutely, Gardening in the North. We'll just start right over. No, but there will be a replay. I don't know, my replays sometimes seem to take forever to get uploaded, and sometimes they're instantly uploaded. So, yeah, that's the one nice thing about having these online lessons kind of step by step is you can go back and look at them again. GIMP is nice. I have used GIMP before, and it's very similar as well to Photoshop. But GIMP is free. So is this. This is Photopea that we're using today, Celtic Roots Farm, and it is also free. And we're actually kind of looking at the difference between it and Photoshop. So next week, come back next week, Tuesday for Techy Tuesday at 2:30 p.m. Pacific time, and we will go over how to cut something out from a background. So be prepared. We will do all that. Yeah, I noticed that, Ariel. Now, I wonder, do you use StreamYard? I'm wondering if it's something to do with the StreamYard processing over to. Nice, Gail. That's fabulous. Yay. Yeah, it's super expensive. I got a student slash teacher version back in 2010 or 11. And I've just hung on to it. And so far, they still, I don't know if they offer any support for it, but they still, it still allows me to install it on my computer. So that's what I use. I haven't used any of the new stuff. I've had that, and it was purchased through a grant way back then. So there you go, gal. See, I told you I used to teach teenagers, and they don't listen. It's easy to teach people who listen and pay attention. All right, so it's been almost an hour, and I'm tired of hearing my voice, so I'm going to sign off and say goodbye and say thanks so much for coming in and hanging out and learning some graphic design stuff. It was fun for me, for sure. And I will see you soon. Some of you I'll probably see later tonight in somebody else's live stream. Yeah, very true, Celtic Roots. It's a very popular thing to do. I mean, and it's not that difficult. You just need the right tools, right? Absolutely. I'm so glad you all came. And I hope you have fun playing with Photopea or Photopea. Photopea. Photopea? I don't know what it's called, but it is a fun program thus far. I'm having fun with it. So, yeah, it'll be good. Hi, Flavors and Textures. I didn't even see you come in. I'm so sorry. But I will catch you all later. Have a fantastic day. Bye now.